Hi, it's Sandy here, and I'm here with the new moon rose reading for April 2017. And I really hadn't anticipated being here in the UK, in the Rosy Temple this week. As many of you know, I was planning to be at the Alhambra in Granada in Spain, and the universe had a different pathway for me this week. And the lesson that's felt to be around it is the fact that I overrode the insights and the gut feelings that I had about the trip by the fact that I was feeling so drawn to be back at the Alhambra in the Rose Gardens, and where the rose work birthed for me 7 years ago. And for those of you that have been following my threads on Facebook on my personal page, you'll know that Sunday evening or over Sunday night, I ended up with paramedics and what had presented as heart attack symptoms, which I have to say was really scary. And clearly I had not listened to the other messages that had come in ahead of time around the planned trip, and an energy being off around it in regard to my pathway and my integrity with my journey. So the result was, with a series of insights and inner guidance, I chose to not take the flight and not go, and actually that I know caused distress for the other two women that were coming with me, but nevertheless they have gone, and it feels right that they should have done. For me, there's been a regrouping period beyond the absolute, full stop that particular experience offered me, and a real sense of the insights and the tangible lessons that we're being given now if we are not absolutely in alignment and in the truth of what we are here for. And it was very challenging for me to have to turn around and say, I'm sorry, but I'm not coming. But I knew that actually the message that I was being given was such that it put the whole of the my integrity in the trip in jeopardy. So here I am in the Rosy Temple, giving myself some R&R, giving myself some rest and recuperation time to really recalibrate and realign myself to the truth of what I'm being called to hold in the path of the rose. So, goodness me, it was a real sort of whack around the head, and I'm actually really grateful that the insights that came from it totally and utterly stack up with what's beginning to open in this pathway forward. And here we are, new moon, Taurus, 6 degrees 27, all about new beginnings. New moons and new beginnings have that imprint and that opportunity for us to really birth anew, to bring us forward into a new template. And actually, interestingly, I mean, Taurus is an earth sign, so it's very connected to being this sort of stabilization process, and that real sense of being inspired by nature, being inspired by our connection to the earth to carry ourselves forward. And just as I was preparing to do this reading, and again, I absolutely didn't know whether I had the presence yet to have been able to do this reading for you. But and my mother was a Taurus. That was her birth sign. And I'm really understanding that some of the patterns that actually created my acquiescing to something that was out of alignment for me came in through a thread that I learnt from her. So these are powerful, powerful insights and times. So, yes. So hello to everybody that I think Erica's here, and Ashley and Rebecca, I think. So, yes, hello. So here we are. We're here for the new moon rose reading. And I'm not too sure, having seen the cards that have come up for this, that actually this isn't a reading for me, actually. But anyway, I will share what it is that's going on, and see whether this really resonates for you too. So, are you drawn to Rose card 1? Are you drawn to Rose card 2? Or are you drawn to Rose card 3? Just take a moment and see what resonates. So, if you were drawn to Rose card 1, here she is. She is Rose 5. And Rose 5, very interestingly, was one of the original roses from the Alhambra 7 years ago. And she sits on the throat chakra. So she is totally about speaking our truth. She's a very refined and defined rose. She's telling us that our words carry energy. Once the words are spoken, they are out there, and they're going to do what they came to do. So we have to be very, very aware of our words and their impact. My pranic healing master, Master Choa Sui, always said, what comes out of your mouth is more important than what goes in it. And that first, you should always be kind. And again, kindness is such a way of showing up in the world that is so potent and tangible in our way of approach to ourselves, being kind to ourselves and kind to others in our world. So here she is. You can see the gold up behind her, and she so asks us to really be careful and thoughtful about how we speak and what we speak of. And the interesting thing is that the throat chakra becomes very congested by our thinking. When we are in our head a lot, this area of the body gets congested, and I'm wondering whether it is because that the overthinking things actually creates a disturbance between the harmony of the head and the heart. That the throat is this linkage between the two, but also, of course, the throat is the higher octave of the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra, alongside with the base chakra, holds that imprint of our connection to tribe, but also what Jung would call the individuation. Who am I inside the tribe? And how much do I hold to this place of self-love, self-value and self-esteem, which is absolutely the foundation of the energy as it rises up to be greeted by the heart and then expressed through the throat. So this is very potent, this languaging of this beautiful rose today. So if you've called her, if you were drawn to Rose card 1, she is calling you to really honour who you are and to speak your truth. to be clear in your speech and to speak from your heart. And, this beautiful rose from the Alhambra is a voice. Oh, thank you, Ashley, and thanks, Erica. Thank you. So, if you chose Rose card 2, she is Rose Angel 3, and Rose Angel 3 comes to offer us the jewel of forgiveness. She sits on the third eye. She sits very much connected with the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, these places of inner insight. So she's calling us to look at all of these places where we judge. And of course, judgment is different to discernment. We are being called to discernment, and discernment is a place of understanding the energetic construct of our relationship to what's being shown in the external world. This is so much about this place of being able to come to a place of forgiving ourselves and to forgiving others. Because we are all one. If we're coming into this place of unity, into this place of unified field, unified expression. Hi, Sam. Hi, Erica. This is our place. This is our calling to really come in again into our truth. So when we hold our truth, there can only be a discernment as to whether we choose to engage with what's being presented. And discernment is the real key message here in her voice. And look at this inner template of this particular rose. She holds her arms. She holds her arms loosely around this beautiful golden heart and offers herself comfort in the fact that, we are all on this journey. All of us are work in progress. And sometimes we make choices from the best of intention. And particularly, if I look at my experience in this last week, having had the realization that I'd made choices and acquiesced to an agreement from a very old pattern, and the pattern came up to be revealed. So this place of owning our story, owning and being able to forgive ourselves allows for the heart to soften and the heart to open. And in that process, all is forgiven. And forgiveness is really the absolutely key piece here in the opening up to love. Without forgiveness, we cannot attain that place of unconditional love. It's not possible. So this beautiful rose, if you called for Rose 2 today, this is the rose that speaks to us of the path of forgiveness and the richness and the power of the path of forgiveness. Beautiful rose. Look at a golden heart. Absolutely golden heart. So if you chose Rose card 3, she is Rose Bagua 3. And those of you, excuse me, those of you that are on the online Rose Bagua class with me will know the power of this particular rose. This rose is all about the wisdom of the ancients, our ancestors and our teachers, those teachers that we've had in our genetic lineage and those that we have in our spiritual lineage. And this rose came to me when I was living in Devon, down in Otterton in Devon. She is a tiny, tiny rose, no more than 1.5 inches across, scented like violets. And each one of these tiny, tiny petals is shaped like a heart. So she is a way shower and guide for us to turn within, to understand the patterns that we have taken on from our primary carers and the teachers that we've had in the in our 3D experience here, and those that are also the ones that are the guides and way showers for us on the to anchor in this fifth dimensional field of frequency, so that we can fully live from the heart field. You know, the guides and mentors that we have on the higher planes, our higher soul self guidance, is the inspiration that comes in and enables us to fly, to take our gifts and our insights courageously out into the world, and to be a voice for the light, to be absolutely able to hold this beautiful template of light and wisdom that we bring into the world. So powerful, powerful Rose. She's calling you to resource within. She's calling you to really honour the guides and the teachers that you've had in this journey, and to remember to connect. Remember to connect into the guidance. And, again, from my experience over the night or into the early hours of Monday morning, what it did was to bring me back in to that resource and back into the connections with my teachers and guides on the higher planes, who could give me the bigger picture of what was unfolding in my own experience, and what I've had to deal with in these last few days. So I hope those three energies have been able to give you some insight into your pathway, and perhaps these next pieces of your journey into the new moon. To, they are templates of pure love, and they are of the earth, but of the stars as well. And we are here in this imprint of the of the Taurian full new moon, which of course is overlit by Venus. Venus is the overlighting energy of Taurus. And here we go, calling us to really be aware of the consciousness of our words, to speak our truth, to speak our truth clearly. This is another huge message for me in this recent time. It's about the clarity and being able to really honour and take time to hear our own inner voice, to come into this place of forgiveness, huge, huge forgiveness of the storyline this far, but also, the places that we find ourselves in, and the learnings, the gifts and the learnings in the experience. And thank you for all those hearts that are going across, and thank you for all the hearts in the messages. I have been so touched by the kindness and the messages that have come through on my personal Facebook page in this week, and thank you. And here was Rose 3, this place of really honouring our teachers, our ancestors, and our own spiritual lineage, so that we know that we are way showers for the light. We are way showers of truth, way showers of truth, way showers of forgiveness, and way showers of holding true to the pathway that we are here to embody. Extraordinary times, absolutely extraordinary times, and thank you so much for joining me live. And I hope, even as the recording, that you will be touched and blessed by the love from the roses. And from my heart to yours on this new moon, may the blessings of the rose be with you. Bye for now. Bye.